All right, day 9 is upon us, and today's prompt is creepy. Uh, so this is mine, and it's funny. I chose it because one, because Halloween's coming up, and it's on my mind, and it's on my brain, and I can't stop thinking about it. But also because I love to use this cloth that is called creepy cloth, and they always sell it around Halloween time, and I just buy like a bunch of packages every year. And I have this one here that is in that same sort of blue family that Payne's Gray is, like blue gray. And this comes from my dye pot workshop. Like I swear I'm not here to plug all my workshops. It's just uh, that these are the things I make and these are the things I love. And when it comes to creating in 5 minutes, it helps me to use supplies that I've already worked on or worked with or altered. So that's where the jelly prints come in. That's where the rust dyed fabrics come in. That's where the Mad Matter stuff comes in. So this is a creepy cloth that I hand dyed. And it is fabulous. It has so much texture. Like I mentioned, it's in that same family as the Payne's Gray Blue. So I got that, and I know I'm going to be using it on this piece. I have the jelly printed base, which in this case has some great Amsterdam acrylics and a little Posca marker on it. And then it's got these big white circles that are very translucent, and you can see the layers behind them, which I think is really exciting. And I am trying again to make these pages so that they'll turn into a book at the end. And I really want them to go in order. So every once in a while, I'm trying to remind myself to pull in a technique that I used earlier on a different page, and really stretch some of the techniques out throughout the book so that it is one cohesive piece. Starting with these jelly prints that all came from the same session definitely helps. The prompt tabs definitely helping. One, they're helping keep the book cohesive because all the pages have little tabs at the end, but they're also helping me get more work done, and I have like a theme or a goal to work towards. And in this case, it's using that creepy cloth so that my tab makes sense. So what I'm doing is I filled in those circles with some little dots, which I love doing in white space, but I really love how it looks over the translucent jelly printed circles. And then I had this white space on the left-hand side that I came in and did some pen work, did some line work. I made some of those lines that are similar to a couple of the pages a little while ago. I did in the beginning, like right before the 5 minute challenge started, post a stack of supplies that I would be pulling from to use in this project and during these 2 weeks. And one of the things was this gorgeous ledger paper that I picked up, and it just has the most beautiful writing. So I snipped myself a little section of it. I am trimming down this creepy cloth, kind of figuring out how I want them to play together. And at this point, I haven't quite decided how the creepy cloth is going to lay, but I know that my tab needs to go to the right-hand side because that's what page this is. And I'm really loving how that vintage ledger looks in that spot. So I decided to glue it down. And the reason is because I love it there. My raw art brain says don't move it. And if I glue it down and it's permanent, rather than sort of hemming and hawing over where all the pieces are going to go, now I just have to focus on the creepy cloth. So I know I have 5 minutes. I know that I love where that vintage ledger paper was resting. And I know that my time is ticking down. So I go ahead and glue it down. Then I can concentrate on how the creepy cloth is going to lay in or be incorporated into this as a final piece. And I think that that helps my brain not have so many decisions to make because the ledger paper is glued down. I can't really move it now. I love how it was looking at the bottom, and I thought a nice big fat wooden button would be good. And I say a nice big fat one, even though I chose the smallest one. All of the Wow Studio wooden buttons are rather large, like compared to your shell buttons and things like that. And I took another little scrap of creepy cloth and I threaded it through the button so that it looks like the button is glued down, or like adhered to, or fastened is a better word, fastened to the card that way. And it won't be. I'm going to use some of the Fabrifix to make sure that it's nice and sturdy. But I want the creepy cloth to be on top of the tab. So I have to put the tab in place, and my tabs are gradually going down the page. So I put the tab on first, then I get out my Fabrifix, and I'm using the back end of a paintbrush. I realize I broke the nozzle on my Fabrifix during indexed a workshop. Sometimes when you're doing live stuff, you're like, gotta go. And so I just totally snapped the top off to get to my glue, which was absolutely ridiculous. But so now I have to unscrew the lid and dip a paintbrush handle down in there. But that's all right. I'm gonna get my money's worth. You believe me. So I put a blob particularly or close to the size of the creepy cloth. I put that down. I put the creepy cloth down. The button is there. It's adhered. It hangs over the tab. Everything looks really good. Here are some close-up shots. I will see you tomorrow for day 10. Don't forget you can get these tabs free of charge if you go to the Ugly Art Club .teachable.com and enroll in the 5-minute challenge course. There's no course there. It's just where you can get the prompts to download and print out. Look for my cohorts videos on YouTube.